Good morning, Muscatine. My name is Autumn Schultz from Discover Muscatine, and I really hope you all are, one, driving safe, two, staying warm. The roads are not too friendly right now, so hopefully they will get better later on, but please stay safe this morning and be sure that you are nice and bundled up. It is cold today. Before I get started, I want to say thank you to our sponsors, Hy-Vee, Unity Point Attorney, Muscatine, Muscatine Power and Water, Becky Insurance, Toyota of Muscatine, Rivo Plumbing and Heating, Impact Fitness and Nutrition, Lutheran Living Senior Campus, Impact Life Blood Center, Harper Cycling and Fitness, Bayer of Muscatine, Muscatine County Fair, and Muscatine Walk to End Alzheimer's. Just a reminder that the MCSA Food Pantry is closed due to impending weather. If you are looking for any last minute, maybe some gift ideas, you can come here to Hy-Vee on 2nd Ave, head down to aisle 10 and check out their gift card mall. They have so many different several options that you can choose from. So if you need those last minute gifts for this weekend, come down here and check that out. And also, you can still help Lieutenant Lucas get home by donating in person or online with his virtual kettle. Also, they are looking for still some more volunteers leading up to the 24th. So you can volunteer going to register to ring.com or get a hold of Lieutenant Macy. I have to do a huge shout out to Greg Bach. Congrats on being able to come home, and doing a shout out for Lieutenant Lucas. He did like an hour-long Facebook of just pushing out the virtual kettle because we are 50K away from our goal. So hopefully we can get Lieutenant Lucas home for the holidays this weekend. And we are going to just jump right into today's talk. I have someone that is constantly reminding me of what today is.
It's December 22nd, right?
It is December 22nd, yes.
Anything like amazing or fabulous that happened this day in history? Do you have like today in history?
No, I do not have today in history. Would you like to remind me? By the way, if no one knows who this is my husband and also co-owner and fitness coach of Impact Fitness and Nutrition, and he's apparently going to remind me what today is. Would you like to remind me of what today is?
I think, or rather than you reminding her, why don't you just have her look at the screen of the show right now?
Screen of the show right now? Yeah, that right there. Yep. Today is my birthday.
Milestone birthday.
It is a milestone birthday, and I am probably one of the only people that will say that she is actually happy that today is my 30th birthday. So I love having my birthday, and you guys are hilarious. Thank you for that.
But
what would I do?
Wait, we got to go into this real quick.
What's that?
Like a 30-second segue, because we looked at this last week, or we heard this on the radio, that because less presents.
Yes and no. I'm so used to actually celebrating my birthday weeks prior.
Oh, okay.
And so we'll it won't ever be around the Christmas time. It's normally a couple weeks prior too. That's why.
Okay. All right.
So, yeah.
All right.
Little. You think of the holidays, what comes to mind?
Well, I mean, beyond the obvious of the season, probably an overindulgence of food, maybe. We also think about, friends and fellowship and all that. But I think what comes to mind first is just that temptation to overeat and maybe not eating the right things. Or, I mean, food is food,
yeah,
but maybe not pacing ourselves. How about that?
I say food, family, friends, and of course, every time people think of food, they think, okay, it's that Christmas dinner, like the Thanksgiving dinner that we talked about the last time. So a lot of the times too, when it comes to the holiday season, people are getting ready for January as a New Year's resolution. I'm going to lose weight, and the majority of the time they end up gaining weight during the holidays, and then you get that self-defeat, that disappointment, that overall feeling. So we're going to talk about how you can still enjoy the holidays but still stay on track to achieve your goals today.
So we're talking about food, family, friends. That was it. You know what the fourth F is? Fruitcake.
I've never had fruitcake.
You don't want to have a fruitcake.
I don't ever want to.
It's the most hideous creation ever. But nonetheless, let's move on.
Well, yeah, no. I've never had fruitcake. Have you?
I've seen it. I think I may have had it once a long time ago, and I will never.
I think of
never to have it.
when I think of fruitcake, I just think of the brick.
Yes.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, basically. Well, yeah, it could be round, but or
I just think of a brick.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about tip number 1, is remembering your why.
Correct.
So when I sit down with a bunch of our nutrition athletes, I always talk about, their long-term goal, their short-term goal.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than just saying, okay, you want to lose 30 pounds. Sounds good.
Right.
Well, why do you want to lose those 30 pounds?
Well, a friend of mine did it, either that or I saw this dress that I want or this particular outfit.
Mm-hmm.
There's a wide variety of things that people see. Society nowadays, I want to be skinny, I want to have this nice six-pack.
Mm-hmm.
All of these outward appearing type of
Yeah, and so then
goals.
The next part of it is like, so say that outfit. Well, I
Mhm.
want to wear that outfit. Well, why do you want to wear that outfit? It's getting the emotion out of the why is the most important part of it, because then that can help build up to achieve that goal.
Correct.
So a lot of the times, for example, a lot of times it is, I want to lose weight, I want to lose inches, I want to wear those pair of jeans again that I wore
Maybe in
2-3
high school
years
or
ago.
whatever, yes.
And it's just continuously reminding yourself why you've set these goals up for yourself. So when the holiday season does come around, you're not going to say, well, everything I've been working on, I really don't care. I'm going to just, let the holidays take over.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then all of a sudden when January 1 hits, where you're at progress-wise could decrease or potentially weight increase because you weren't mindful during those 2 weeks for the holidays. So remembering the why is always the most important portion of it. Tip number 2, kind of just what we talked about.
Yeah, stay consistent.
Being mindful for long-term consistency has lasting results. So the more you're consistent, the more that it's going to be easier to, even with traveling, your sweets, your, potentially maybe some social gatherings. Mm-hmm. It's just always important to just stay consistent in your routine.
And you talk about travel, even more, the whole food prep and being able to have items with you. Think about today. Now, our plan was to drive to Michigan this weekend to be with our family. We haven't
Mm-hmm.
been able to do that in the longest time. Weather may keep us from doing that.
Mm-hmm.
If we were to venture out, what we would do is, because we can't control what happens on the highways because of the weather, that what if we do become stranded? And all of a sudden we don't have anything to drink, we don't have anything to eat. We get into a little bit of survival mode.
Mm-hmm.
However, why not pack some almonds? Why not pack some carrots? Be prepared when you travel.
Mm-hmm.
We do that for our kids. We make sure that they are taken care of. But if you go out, venture out alone, even if you're driving from Des Moines to here, or Ames to here, or wherever, 2-3 hour drive, be prepared in in your snack time,
Mm-hmm.
because that's the last thing you want to be doing, stranded, and then you're more willing to just find something that will tide you over.
And if you're a little squeezed for time, there's Hy-Vee is awesome with their produce area. They've got
Mm-hmm.
all these shortcuts that they already have stuff already cut up and prepped for you, fruits and veggies. So that also is a time saver.
Absolutely.
A lot of the important part is to schedule times to move your body still. Whether you're making it to the gym, whether maybe it's a hotel gym, or at least just going for maybe an outdoor walk. To be honest, I'm not walking out in this today, but just reminding yourself to just make sure you are taking time for yourself and blocking out time for movement.
And the quick tip on that, all right, so you're watching your favorite TV show, or whether, it's a movie. Set a reminder every 30 minutes, maybe just to get up to move. And whether it's to stretch, do that for maybe during the commercials
Mm-hmm.
of whatever show you're watching. Just be able to get that routine and always thinking about moving.
And the last most important about staying consistent is sleep.
Yes.
Please, obviously holidays bring late nights, so still maintaining that 7 to 9 hours of sleep during that time.
Mm-hmm.
Tip number 3 is planning ahead. And this is my favorite quote, is a goal without a plan is just a wish. Having meals and snacks planned out for the week will just help set you up for success. It makes even just daily routine a little bit easier because you already know what you're going to grab and what you're getting. Making sure that, you know, of course we hear a lot of people, well, I'm not going to have breakfast or lunch. I'm going to wait until dinner because that might be Christmas dinner, Thanksgiving dinner. I'm going to save up for that meal. Well, what we end up doing is overindulging and overeating majority of the time. And of course, when you skip meals, you're falling off.
Yes.
Have you ever done that before this life?
I've been known to skip a little bit. Yeah, knowing that I'll have a big dinner. It's like, oh, I want to save room for all of this good stuff. Or I'll basically have just a little bit of something to carry me over, but I won't have my consistent. At previous life, I wouldn't always have my consistent breakfast or my lunch.
So it's just planning, prepping, staying consistent, and just, you know, making sure that you are still having breakfast, lunch, dinner. You can still enjoy your Christmas dinner, but still make sure that you're eating throughout the day.
Because I can guarantee you, well, yeah, I'll guarantee you that if you can manage your meals during this, and let's call it a stressful time. Let's call it what it is. It is stressful because of weather, because of family, because of all the preparation. Think about your ability to stay consistent during the most stressful time of this 2-week stretch. If you can do that and come out on the other end, everything else is gravy.
Yeah.
I know it's another food reference. Gravy's good. But, I mean, everything else is going to be extremely easy. You know what? I weathered this. I can do this. I know how to do breakfast, lunch, and dinner now. If another stressful situation comes up, you know what to do.
Yeah. And when it comes to our lovely dinner plates, what is it that we follow?
Plate method.
And do you remember what the plate method is?
You always quiz
I know,
me on
I
this.
will always quiz you.
Half a cup, excuse me. Half a plate of veggies. We like a quarter plate of protein.
What kind of protein?
Lean protein.
There we go.
And then we get our rices.
Starchy.
Our starchy rices.
Starchy carbs.
That too. Rice, carb, yes. Our starchy carbs. And then even get a little bit of healthy fat in there. That is what we consider a well-balanced meal. And just by being able, we don't have, you know, I'm doing this with my hands. We don't have a plate here in front of us. But yeah, just look at the plate next time you're sitting down. That half of plate of veggies is roughly what, 2 cups, if you will. And if you can get close to that, we're not saying measure out everything to the cauliflower or to the broccoli stalk or to the pea. No.
It's just being mindful of making sure that you are keeping whole foods in mind and making sure that, you know, the veggies are first, having the lean protein, having that starchy carb, which can be root vegetables, can be fruits, and then the healthy fats end up being a lot of the times cooking oils, avocado being examples.
And I mentioned gravy. You know, the things that we like to top our foods with are salads. Maybe make that extra effort to just put it on the side. To be able just to lightly dip that into it, not to just drown the poor salad. And you know, would you like a little salad with your ranch dressing? So be able to mindfully connect those ideas with the plate method and putting things on the side are going to be a huge key to your success.
And a fun little, hi Matt, and a little fun fact too is to remember to slow down when you're eating.
Yes.
So our brain is actually 15 minutes behind our belly. So if you are still feeling hungry after a little bit, go for more veggies just to help get the fullness going.
Everybody talks about wearing their stretchy pants, you know, and unbuttoning that top button of your pants. Let's get 15 minutes ahead of that.
Yeah.
That once you, I mean, you don't have, I would rather have you go back for seconds with a light plate, then dump everything on this, make this huge mound of food.
Yeah.
And then your brain processes, I have to get through this. I don't want to waste anything. Lighten the load at the beginning.
Yep.
Seconds are fine, but then sneak up onto that, that 80 to 85%, that 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you're going to feel that much better. You won't need to stretch your pants.
And the last tip going into this is staying mindful. So here's my question. Can you enjoy a sweet treat?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Don't rob yourself of that pleasure. Our lives are not, when it comes to nutrition, we are not so strict that we want to deprive ourselves from that. I mean, you want that cookie? Have a cookie.
And just move on.
And move on.
Yeah.
Manage it. Manage it the best you're able.
I mean, it's okay to enjoy it. We always want to enjoy treats. I mean, it's not like we're going to tell Patrick he can't have a cookie or a cupcake or maybe some pumpkin pie. I don't know, because he's a kid. He wants to enjoy those flavors. We want to enjoy those memories.
Right.
But we can still be mindful and still be healthy, navigating. Alcohol is another thing too. Every time that you do have a glass, make sure you do have water with you. It's that 1-to-1 ratio balance. Being mindful of what you're drinking too, whether it's wines, light beers. If you are doing spirits, try it with water or carbonated water, fresh fruit. Avoid like the heavy syrups.
Yeah.
Just being mindful, because that added sugar can sneak up.
And I think the other part, what we like to do, especially when we get these big family gatherings, is we like to graze. And that's, lack of a better, that's mindlessness.
Yeah.
Because I need to get a chip. Next thing you know, you're just staying right there and just going chip after chip. Take a handful. Read what the serving size is. Maybe it's 10 chips. Be okay with that serving size, but just don't keep going, because then all of a sudden, an hour later, and all of a sudden you go through a half a bag of chips, or you
Not
go
only
through
that, you sit down for dinner time and you're full.
Yeah, exactly. Without being balanced.
So, I mean, obviously there's never a perfect time to start, but just being mindful, getting started. If you know that you have these goals that you want to set for yourself in 2023, start now. There's nothing saying you have to wait till January 1 to get started on achieving your goals.
And I talk to a lot of people about when we set goals. Even from a golfing standpoint, we oftentimes, going from the 9th hole to the 10th hole, we think that we have this hard stop when we're playing an 18-hole tournament. Well, I'll just play better on the back 9. Well, what about just now?
I'm sorry to interrupt, but we have
You're
a
not
delivery.
sorry.
My God.
We have a delivery for somebody. I don't know. What did they write on there? Oh, rest in peace 20s. Weird.
Let me guess. I'm going to
That's
take a
pretty cool.
wild guess that this is probably from my mother.
I'm just the delivery guy.
Oh, thank
Happy
you
birthday.
so much,
Thank you.
Matt. Let me guess. Yep. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. Thank you for RIP 20s. Wow.
Bye-bye now.
I do love the fact, I knew it was my mother right away because this is my favorite flower. I do like the fact she added a nice little impact touch with colors.
I see that.
I will give her credit for that.
Every now and then.
And we were just making, so if no one knows this, I have allergies to flowers anyway, so we were making that joke that flowers are just not in the option. This is hilarious, though.
Show it to the center camera.
RIP 20. Knowing me, I'm going to tip it.
Can we pop the top on? Let's pop the top on.
No, because then my hands will have frosting all over it.
We got it? All right.
Good? Okay. Thank you, Mother. So you remember how we were just talking about sweet treats?
Right. So, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that, we
were just talking about that.
Well, yeah, and this goes a little bit off topic, but it also talks about when we're out and about and people say, I'm going to buy this next round. And we have this amazing interplay with ourselves.
Yeah.
That, maybe we know we don't need this one.
Mm-hmm.
But we also don't want to disappoint the other person. So this is the inner conflict that we have. Are we saying that it's okay to have it? You know what? Yeah, thank that person. Maybe you have a little bit of it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to disappoint them.
Yeah.
Sometimes people don't know the journey you're going through. But don't be disappointed. Don't be in yourself for maybe having a little bit of this. Certainly don't be disappointed in the other person. So this gets over to the sweet portion of the show.
Am I going to have a slice?
Have a
Heck
slice?
yes, I am.
Absolutely, we'll have a slice.
Am I going to be
we'll
sharing
enjoy
this
it.
with probably everyone that comes and hangs
Comes
out
in
with
through
us?
Hy-Vee right now?
Yeah. Well, from 1 to 4, we'll be here doing a kettle ring. So
Yeah, absolutely. I
if
think
you
that's
donate, I'll give you a slice of cake.
There you go.
There we go. I love
like
that. So going into 2023, we did this last year, and I thought I had to bring it back because it was such a fun event the time before, is the Vision Board Brunch.
Mm-hmm.
So a vision board, what this is basically it's a great tool for you to be able to use and see what your success can look like in making your goals a reality.
Mm-hmm.
So in my head, I know, okay, I want to continue working out 3 times a week. I want to continue getting more involved in community events in Muscatine. So what I'm doing is I'm saying it, but sometimes saying it doesn't always stick.
Mm-hmm.
So having something visual, be able to visually look at it and say, hey, this is my everyday reminder. It's going to be a poster that is going to be where I'm at the most frequent. So mine is in my office.
Mm-hmm.
Then I can see my goals. And I know mine was a lot about faith and family this year and community this past year. And I feel pretty successful because I had that constant reminder.
Mm-hmm.
So the vision boards can contain words, quotes, self-affirmations, art, graphic, maybe pictures of certain people, and most importantly, your goals.
And they're very meaningful to you.
Yes.
Never be embarrassed about what you put on your vision board, because sometimes we don't always have those accountability partners.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? Yes, this 11 by 17, this poster may not be able to speak to you in terms of verbalizing, hey, you can do this, but it does visualize those things to be able to say, yes, my 3-time-a-week goal, my fitness, my favorite jeans, my whatever, this is still speaking to me.
So we are hosting another vision board brunch, and this is going to be on Saturday, January 7th. This is going to be from 10 to 1. It's at Proof Social upstairs. It is $15 per person, but it's because of supplies, magazines, stickers. I also will be providing drinks. Bloody Marys and mimosas will be available. Food will not be provided, but Skinny's is open, so you can always grab Skinny's there. We did that last year, and it was a great time. I know Cord absolutely loved having all of us there. So this vision board can be literally anything, whether it's nutrition, fitness, faith, friends, maybe your professional career, family. It can be anything that you want to set your mind to for 2023. The link for the Facebook event will be in the comments after the show. So if you're wanting to know more information, that is a great way to check it out. A lot of success last year, and so I'm really happy to be able to bring this back this year.
And we definitely need to have you register ahead of time, because we need to be able to make sure we have enough room for everybody and enough materials to be able to...
And you can bring in your own magazines, your own pictures, but I can't tell you how many of the Hy-Vee magazines I've collected throughout this whole year. I just have piles of them. So a lot of people had traveling last year, faith. Someone made a goal about reading 75 books or something.
And the amazing part of that was 2 people that may have known of each other but never really met, saying, you know what, I like reading books too. Guess what? Now you have that accountability partner.
There was a couple of those too.
Yeah, and so now, hopefully they were able to continue that new relationship, if you will, to be able to bounce book ideas off.
There was even a couple of them last year where their goal was just to get out and socialize more, just be out there. And so 2 people right there said exactly the same thing. And I know that they've gotten it together throughout the year because of keeping that connection. So it's just so neat that the vision board just not only becomes a social event, but also just helps you understand what your big 3 goals you want to have for 2023. Like, I know I want to stay consistent with working out. I know I want to get a little bit more involved in community activities and events, volunteering especially. And I think most importantly for me is just more time with Patrick. And I think those for me are huge big 3 events. I know that with the employee wellness, that was one of my goals. And, you know, because of just being determined and seeing it and knowing that that was one of my goals I wanted to accomplish, I stuck with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're going to talk about one of your goals that's happening tomorrow. So let's wind it back a little bit. Where did Red Kettle Fitmas even start? How did this start?
It actually started down at the Salvation Army. Well, I guess a year previous. So this is our 3rd year doing this. So 4 years ago, I was coming out of here. I was moved by what Greg was doing.
Okay.
And he was up in the kettle. And I'm like, you know what? I don't know what to do in terms of being able to support more what this Red Kettle campaign is doing, but I'm going to start with a financial donation.
Okay.
So cut a check to Greg right then and there, and over the next year, as this date started to approach, it's like, what can I do more? I started small, what can I do more? And it really got into, okay, from a fitness standpoint, I had done a back in my CrossFit days, we had done a fundraiser, and then for me to go more above and beyond, what was that? Well, I think I might be like a unicorn in terms of enjoying what the burpee represents to fitness. A lot of people have a love-hate, and most of it's hate. But what I did was, for 2 consecutive years, I said for every extra dollar that I raise, I will do 1 burpee.
Okay.
2 consecutive years, I did 600 burpees. And so I'm like, all right, here's an idea going forward. So I approached Greg, went down, had a meeting with him, and he just said, perfect, let's do this. It's like, how do we do it? Didn't necessarily have I don't want to say, we had a plan. We didn't know how. The execution is like, well, let's just figure this out as we go on. And so that first year, as we started, this was still, this was year 2, or it was the first year?
This was
first full year of
2020.
Impact. So I guess it was the 2nd year. And had some athletes come out, and we just promoted it, $1 for every burpee. And I think we, in the neighborhood of raising $1,200 to $1,500, we had people actually, I don't want to say feeling sorry for me, but they had some empathy for me to go, you know what, that's a lot of burpees. I'm gonna donate to take away from that amount, which was a absolute blessing. Doing that many burpees over that time, I didn't feel too bad the next morning, but boy, was it exhausting. Last year we did squats still, and we did a little bit more in terms of donation, and we're going to go back to where it all began with the burpee. I just feel the burpee is so a metaphor of life, of falling down, getting back up again. That's what this whole Red Kettle campaign is about. There are people that are on hard times. And maybe they don't know where their next meal is coming from. Maybe they don't have enough winter clothing to stay warm. Maybe they don't have heat. Maybe they don't even have a place to stay. So I think it's meaningful of falling down and getting back up. What Salvation Army does, especially locally, with the funds that we raise, we help these people get back up. If they fall, we're going to be right there for them, and we're going to get them back up again. The old adage of, fall down 8 times, get up 9. And so we're going to be doing that. It's going to be extremely challenging tomorrow night. I'm not going to lie. We're not going to move it indoors.
We talked to Lieutenant Lucas.
Lieutenant Lucas. Unless he gets the donations out, then he might not be in the bucket, but I'm going to be there regardless. regardless of the weather, regardless of the wind, of the temperature. I'm going to do my best to stick through the time that we've allotted for me to be there. It's going to be painful in terms of just the cold and the bitterness, but you know, there's people that are less fortunate than what we are in terms of, as we mentioned, clothing, housing, food, and this is something that's very simple for me to be able to do. That's going to have a huge implication for others.
Yeah.
So that's where it all started. I mean, from a tiny acorn, a mighty oak grew. So hopefully we can keep this oak tree growing.
I am going to be there with you, and this is the first time I will actually be. And of course, of all the times that I'm out here, this is probably the worst. This is the worst temperature that we've had.
Yes.
So I will be out there with you this time because I'm the one who checks the virtual kettle and then the physical donations. And then when people are paying to actually decrease your burpees, I had a separate calculator off to the side to keep track of where we were at. And I was like, and I mean, Lieutenant Greg was just yelling, okay, Autumn, he's got this much. What's the new total? What's this? What's the...
Yeah, you were back home nice and warm, and here I am out here. But no, I mean, that was... So we're just gonna, you know, you're gonna be on site to be able to to be able to help out a little bit more with the count.
Yeah.
You know, regardless if we have anything right at 6 o'clock or ahead of time, I'm going to get ahead of this burpee count. The way I do it is I usually run about 25 sets of 25. That way it's easier for me to count. Sometimes counting is difficult for me.
You have a piece of chalk that you use, though.
I'll put them down on chalk. You can come out. I know it's going to be bitterly cold. You know, if you want to come out, great. If you want to do a burpee or two, great. I'm not requiring you guys to brave the elements.
That's why we have a virtual kettle.
That's why we have the virtual kettle.
So you can start now, and I'll put the link in the comment section to basically right when it hits 6 o'clock, he can get those burpees started ASAP. And I know, I think Lieutenant Lucas is going to do a few with you as well. So he said
he needs to be able to move a little bit, yeah.
So if you want to help Lieutenant Lucas, get home faster, and you want to keep Coach Scott here warm, you can do the virtual kettle to get that going for him in ASAP. Normally the what's in the box is something I do. Why do you have it?
Well, it's on my side. But it's all about you because I don't really recall you doing the what's in the box before.
I have. I did it with Tony. It was salted almonds in a bag.
I don't remember it didn't happen.
I don't remember it, yeah.
Tony, if you're watching, back me up right now. Tony. Tony Tone, if you are watching.
Oh, you're fine. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, you can throw. You're good.
Yeah. Grab the avocado, grab all the avocados and tomatoes.
Taking my ring off because I don't trust the situation right now.
All right, we'll move the...
You're safe. I didn't have anything to do with any of this.
How does that make me safe if you don't have anything to do with it?
It makes him safe.
That makes you safe.
All right, the Toyota what's in the box?
Yes, this is Toyota's what's in the box. Did you open the box?
No. Why? No. You put your hand in it. You have to figure out what it is.
Yeah, but can they see it?
And you have to.
Oh, I have to do it. I've been really nice and been doing it for other people.
Oh, there you go.
I don't like this. I don't like this.
Attack it.
I don't want to. Oh, it's a cupcake. Oh no. I know why you're doing this.
Did you see that big light bulb go off over her head? Mm-hmm.
There's revenge about to happen.
What flavor is the cupcake? Are you that good to be able to say what's in the box and be able to say what flavor it is?
I would really hope that it's like, I don't know, chocolate? Maybe?
Can you tell?
No.
Mm.
I can tell once I want to run, but I'm also mic'd, so I can't really run. Oh, it's vanilla. Vanilla. Okay, before you do this, before you get your revenge, and I will let you get your revenge, and we will tell people why, let's take a quick break, because you're going to break down the mechanics of the burpee.
Yep.
So we will be right back, and I promise he will. I'm allowing him to get revenge. I'll be back in a bit.
You hear that?
Hi, I'm TJ Deere, General Manager here at Toyota Muscatine.
Hi, I'm Megan and I'm from Muscatine.
My name is Logan and I'm from Muscatine.
Here at Toyota Muscatine, we believe in investing in our community.
And that's why all our members are local to the Muscatine area.
It's why we give generously to charities based in our city.
Because we believe that giving back means paying it forward.
That's why an investment in us is an investment in our community.
When you buy a vehicle for Toyota Muscatine, keeping your vehicle safely on the road is our highest priority.
We offer scheduled maintenance and extended service hours for those unexpected repairs.
Our service department's mechanics are dedicated to providing you with the highest quality of care.
Feel free to ask any of our friendly staff if you have any questions.
Come on down to Toyota Muscatine today.
We just don't work out in a single plane of motion.
Here at Toyota Muscatine, we're here to serve.
When you buy a vehicle at a multi-brand dealership and it isn't locally owned, it can be difficult to get information that you need.
That's why all of our trained salespeople are focused on one thing, getting you the best deal possible on a new or used Toyota.
And when you pick your favorite, we will help you with financing and maintenance.
We love helping our neighbors.
Come to Toyota Muscatine today.
All right, so we are back, and so he is going to demonstrate a lot about the mechanics of the burpee, and his favorite part of talking about it is to literally fall down and get back up. So he's going to actually demonstrate it in different types of ways that you can actually do a burpee. It's not always just falling down to the ground and getting back up. There are always modifications that we can do for him, and I'm going to let you take over.
So the funny thing is that, okay, where'd they come up with the word burpee? It's actually a guy's name. He's an American psychologist back in the late 1800s, early 1900s. His name was Royal H. Burpee.
Okay.
Believe it or not.
Did not know that.
And so, yeah, when you put burpees out, it's actually a capital B because it's the guy's name. And what was created was basically a test of general fitness.
Okay.
And I don't know, maybe people don't like general fitness. Maybe that's why they don't like the burpee. I'm just obviously kidding. But there are some different components to it. At impact, when we talk about a high plank, when you think about all of the components to it, you have a standing position, you're squatting, you're jumping back into a high plank, you're doing a push-up or a press down.
Okay.
We like to call them press downs versus push-up. It's a change in the external cue.
Okay.
And then basically we get into another squat and then we jump. Now the jump is basically determined by the coach. As long as we get, slip a Muscatine phone book underneath your underneath your feet, that's significant. Jump to 6 inches. There's so many variations that have come across the burpee. But basically, the original burpee was from a standing position, getting into a squat, the hands coming down, out, up, and then jump. That's the original burpee.
Okay.
And so we've taken that a little bit more. So I think that was a 4-point burpee. The 5-point burpee is actually adding a push-up.
Okay.
What we like to think about, especially at impact when we're doing these, that we still want to move correctly.
Yeah.
We don't want to go, we don't do burpees for time anymore because form gets sloppy. One of the major portions of this is understanding what the high plank does. Just like our feet on the ground, you're in bare feet, I'm in my minimalist shoes, but when we get down to the ground...
Do you want me to?
No, you're fine. Well, if you want to, sure,
okay.
Why not? I can talk about this a little bit more. So when we get in this high plank, being a part of this movement, what are we looking at? We're looking at wide hands or wide fingers, and we're trying to push the ground away. That gives us a wonderful radiated tension in through the shoulders, or up through the arms, into the shoulders, which is where we want to be. Now, the whole falling down thing is a burpee to where we just, do this, come up and stand up again? Absolutely. We're not so overly critical that we're going to say, hey, that's not a good burpee. The movement portion of it is still critical. And so for me, as what I'm thinking about on the burpee, I tend to go a little overboard.
Yeah.
Because I come from vertical to the ground as quickly as possible, but I'm also decelerating my body and using my upper body to benefit the deceleration going down. So from here, as I drop, I'm already in this high plank, and look, my fingers are wide, pushing the ground apart, getting into my push-up, bringing the feet underneath me, and then I'm jumping. That's the way, in a very simple term, the way I like to coach the burpees.
Yep. Now, say you have someone who maybe mobilization restrictions. What is an alternative that they can do for the burpee? Not only mobility, but also endurance-wise. This is a huge endurance test, especially when you start doing multiple burpees in a row. You can take, good morning. You can take something, now this is a bar stool, might be a little bit high. Yep.
But what you can do is also you can still get to here. If we're able to get to here, great, and then stand up. But if you're just able to get to here, step back, that's a very easy entry point. Is it a technical burpee of getting to the ground? No. But there's also, I told you that, there's variations of doing pull-ups or jumping and doing whatever. This is still a burpee. It's still in that same family. Whether we start high to get to here, understand how to use the hands, how to use the shoulders, the upper body, it's a great starting point. Over time, start lowering this to be able to get down to the ground. Hey, maybe I'll add a press down, which is the alternative thinking to a push-up. So there's a variety of ways, and we've always said at Impact, if you move like crap, you're gonna lift like crap. We want you to be moving better. We want those good movement patterns so you can then increase your strength, your stability, your mobility, but also then that endurance.
I think that's great. And then sometimes you like to throw in songs and ruin songs with burpees.
I do, I do. Our Impact athletes know certain songs for certain movements, but it also, it also makes it...
It's a fun challenge.
It's a fun challenge now. So I do like to ruin songs.
If you do it for your birthday, you do Thunderstruck.
Thunderstruck burpees.
If
my birthday wasn't in February, and maybe I'm using that as an excuse because of the cold, one of my goals for next year is actually to do a burpee mile.
Oh, okay.
And a burpee mile is basically doing the burpee portion of it, and then instead of a vertical jump, it is a broad jump.
Oh, nice.
And so, if I broad jump only 4 or 5 feet, and I do that for a mile, roughly going to take 2 to 3 hours. It's very much a mental game at that point in time. If you've ever been in a workout where you get, maybe you have 5 rounds to do something and you get through 3 rounds and you're like, I just don't want to do this anymore. That little accountability partner that's inside your heart going, you know what, you can do this.
Yeah. That's
one more
tomorrow.
burpee. One more burpee. And that's really what I'm going to have to be thinking about tomorrow.
So if you want to keep Coach Scott warm and get Lieutenant Lucas home earlier, we have the red virtual kettle. For every $1 that is donated, he will do a burpee. He's going to be out here at the big red kettle, wind, snow, rain, shine, whatever Mother Nature brings out tomorrow night from 6 to 9. Coach Scott will be there for the big red kettle for the big red Kettle Fitmas. So be sure to help and get Lieutenant Lucas home, help Salvation Army reach their goal, and keep him warm during that time.
Now this is a time from 6 to 9. When it does hit 9 o'clock, we're going to have to evaluate where we are.
Yep.
I'll go ahead and make the promise to everybody now that if I have extra burpees that I do not get to, I'll be back in the studio probably Saturday, because I don't know if our plans of getting to Michigan are going to come to fruition. I will finish every burpee.
And we'll have it live.
And well, yeah, we're going to have to. You got to keep me.
I will keep you accountable.
Keep me accountable. So, anyway.
Well,
our goal is what? What did we say our goal was?
2,500.
2,500.
Yep.
We're 50 away from
50K away from our 190 goal for Salvation Army. That might have updated overnight, but that was what Lieutenant Lucas provided last night. So we are 50K away. Again, a shout out to Greg Bach for doing the 1 hour virtual on Facebook to help get Lieutenant Lucas home.
And I'm okay with donations to do less burpees. Let's get that, I'm fine with that.
I encourage the burpees because that's what's going to keep
I
you
encourage
warm.
the burpees, yes, that will keep me warm, but I also encourage donating to take away burpees. So it's a give and take.
Yes. So with that being said,
you don't know how much I'm going to enjoy this. She's done it twice. I'm at 0. So someone gets to have a little cupcake.
I'm so nervous right now.
Why? Don't you trust me?
I do. Okay, go for it.
No, just go ahead. Go ahead. Come on. Come on, you wore black today too. Oh, bar towel. Here
You
we
got
go.
it in my nose.
Ah. Well, I had to make up for lost time.
So, that was wedding and September.
Who's in your eyes? I did a good one.
Okay. With that being said, guys, I hope everyone has an amazing Christmas. And also, it hit my nose, guys. And it's all over my face. I can see it. Anyways, it's fine. So with that being said, I hope you all have an amazing Christmas. We will be back on Tuesday. And now I'm going to get frosting out of my nose. But tune in tomorrow on Impact Fitness and Nutrition on their Facebook page and help Scott stay warm and get the money for raising for Salvation Army. Until then, Merry Christmas. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay warm. I will see you later, Muscatine.
Hi, I'm TJ Deere, General Manager here at Toyota Muscatine.
Hi, I'm Megan and I'm from Muscatine.
My name is Logan and I'm from Muscatine.
Here at Toyota Muscatine, we believe in investing in our community.
And that's why all our members are local to the Muscatine area.
It's why we give generously to charities based in our city.
Because we believe that giving back means paying it forward.
That's why an investment in us is an investment in our community.
When you buy a vehicle for Toyota Muscatine, keeping your vehicle safely on the road is our highest priority.
We offer scheduled maintenance and extended service hours for those unexpected repairs.
Our service department's mechanics are dedicated to providing you with the highest quality of care.
Feel free to ask any of our friendly staff if you have any questions.
Come on down to Toyota Muscatine today.